The biggest event of the year for the whole of the automotive industry is just a couple of weeks behind us. I'm talking about the Shanghai Auto, where car manufacturers from all around the world, but especially Chinese car manufacturers, display their newest innovations and their newest models. And whether we like it or not, the times have passed where the pinnacle of car manufacturing has been in either the United States of America or has been in Germany or in Europe in general. The new player, the new frontier of the car manufacturing business is China, and probably will be China in the years to come. And that's why the just recently passed Shanghai Auto has inspired me to start a new series here on this channel, where we're gonna take a deeper look into a few of the most promising car manufacturers out of China. We will take a look at their model portfolios, we will take a look at their philosophy to car making, to the newest designs, and of course, definitely, and most importantly, we're gonna take a look at their stock market performance and where the price is probably gonna be heading from here onwards, and what investment opportunities in those companies will be the most promising ones for you and for your financial future. Hello and welcome to another video on HKCM Global. My name is Joe, and today will be the first video in a new series, the foundational video of a new series, because in recent years the elite of car manufacturers do not meet anymore in Detroit, and they do not meet anymore in Germany. Well, they do meet, but the most important event of the year is not in Detroit or in Germany anymore, but the most important event of the year is in China. This year, the Shanghai Auto, that is only a couple of weeks behind us. And we as a financial analytics company do already have a couple of those Chinese car manufacturers in our portfolio of stocks that we analyze on a daily basis. And since that is the case, and since we have quite a bit of experience in those stocks, and we know how the course will probably develop from here onward for those set companies, I decided that let's start a series where every week we will take a deeper look into a few of those car manufacturers. We will look into their portfolio of cars, we will look into their most important inventions. We're also gonna take a look at what makes those companies special and where the biggest investment opportunities for you are. And what companies then are we talking about? So in our current portfolio of stocks that we analyze on a daily basis out of the China Titans package, we're just looking at Chinese car manufacturers here in this series. We already have Xiaomi. You probably know it maybe also from their smartphones or consumer electronics, but as of recently they also dove into the car manufacturing business with quite a few notable models that they have pumped out. For example, the Su 7 Max, Su 7 Pro. I still can't get over those names. They are just not sounding like car names to me at all. Geely, you might maybe also know this one. Neo, you might maybe also know. Xpeng, also not that well known, I believe. And BYD, of course, hugely well known. And one of the biggest runner-ups to take the global crown of car manufacturing, at least in electric vehicles. But today we will not start directly with one of those car manufacturers, but today we will build the foundational series. And that of course means, since all of the companies that we will start the series with are Chinese car manufacturers, we will today start with the Chinese economy in a whole, and that means we're gonna take a deeper look into the Hang Seng Index. And for full transparency, not all of those car manufacturers that we have here in our China Titans package are listed in the Hang Seng and are part of the Hang Seng. So Xiaomi is part of the Hang Seng Index, and also BYD is part of the Hang Seng Index. The other ones then, Geely, Neo, and also Xpeng, are in fact listed on the Hong Kong Stock Exchange, but they are not part of the Hang Seng Index itself. Still, I do believe the Hang Seng Index is a great indicator of the health and development of the Chinese economy as a whole. So that's why today we're gonna start with the Hang Seng Index. And that's why, without further ado, let's directly jump into the, well, let's start with the overreaching time frame here for the Hang Seng Index. Where are we coming from and where will we be heading from here onwards? So if we take a look at the whole of the Hang Seng Index, the representation of the Chinese economy as a whole, I mean, look at this chart here. The picture over the last couple of years has been devastating at best. I mean, we took the last real mentionable high, also the wave 1 top that we have counted in here. This one has occurred in November of 2007. So up until today, this is almost 18 years in the making, and in that time we have nominally lost 27%. So we're still 27% down, not accounting for inflation. just on nominal terms. So back in 2007, there have been expectations towards the Chinese economy that were just outrageous, because I believe in the last 18 years, the Chinese economy developed greatly. This series that we're doing right now here is the best proof of that. 18 years ago, nobody would ever have thought of making a series about Chinese car manufacturers, because everybody would have been, why would I bother? But today, 18 years later, Chinese car manufacturers are a huge global force and probably the future of car manufacturing. But still, the Chinese economy at the stock exchanges as a whole, as represented here by the Hang Seng Index, is still valued significantly lower as back at those levels that we saw in 2007. And that's why in general we do believe that there is currently huge opportunities in the Chinese market. And to bring you up to date in more detail on our account here, as just mentioned, we have concluded the overreaching wave 1 top here of the longer time frame trend in 2007 here in November, and ever since we have seen a huge A, B, C zigzag correction leading to this overreaching wave 2 low that we have established in October of 2022, and we have perfectly hit here with our target zone. We just dipped into this target zone that we had established with roughly 5-6 percentage point, and from here onwards we have in fact retested that low, yes, but we did not establish a new low here back in January of 2024. And ever since, the structure has been pretty promising and has been pretty impulsive so far. For example, leading back into the midterm outlook that we have for the Hang Seng Index, we conclude that here, out of this wave 2 low that I just showed you on the overreaching time frame, we have so far seen a wave 1, also again perfectly hit with our target zone, then another target zone that was just completely annihilated. But after this wave 1, we have seen a wave 2 low here back in August of 2024, and ever since this wave 2 low here that we saw in August of 24, we are now currently in the development of a wave 3 to unfold in our primary scenario. And in this case, this is one of the cases where we also have an alternative scenario, because on a pure technical basis, it is still possible that we could have not yet seen the real wave 2 low, but we could develop an alternative wave 2 low. But this one we do only have at a probability of 36%, and as long as we remain over the 16,437 mark in Hong Kong dollars, that is not of interest at all. But since we love transparency and we like to be super honest with you on a pure technical basis, it would be still possible that we see this new alternative count here, but we only have it at a probability of 36%. And as of now, the price is perfectly following our primary scenario, so there's no real reason to worry about this scenario here yet. And then on our more imminent outlook here, within this wave 3, where are we currently at and where do we see the price to move from here onward? So within this just mentioned wave 3 in the making, we currently have seen the wave 1 top of the 5-wave underlying structure of this wave 3. We've seen the wave 1 top back in October of 2024, and ever since we have seen a pretty complicated prolonged correction in an overreaching A, B, C move so far, leading into an overreaching wave W, which will be followed by an X wave that is currently in the making and very close to its pivot point, probably not at the pivot point yet, but very close to the pivot point, which will then be followed by a final wave Y leg downward to finally finalize the underlying wave 2 correction, which will then of course be followed by another wave 3, 4, 5 upwards move to finally finalize this overreaching wave 3 top that we have here roughly in the area of 30,000 Hong Kong dollars for the Hang Seng Index. And as just mentioned here on the current outlook, we do still believe that we are gonna get a slightly higher high here for this X wave. But since the price here at the Hang Seng really has been showing weakness in recent days, it could be possible that the wave X high is already in and that we are already now in the early beginning stages of the development of the wave Y. So that's why if I were you, I would not at all think about taking long positions here to take profits at this just last little leg up that we still expect in this X wave. But I would as of now hold back my investments and wait for this overreaching wave 2 low to finally unfold and develop. And still here we also have another alternative scenario for the most imminent outlook. This is then not the same alternative scenario that we have on our midterm outlook, but this is our imminent outlook scenario. There is this alternative of 39% probability that we still could go a little bit higher with our X wave here. And this would then mean that we are not looking at an X wave any longer, but that we would already have seen this wave 2 low that we expect to unfold only in the future, that we would already have seen this alternative 2 low yet, and we would then be looking at a wave 3 already in the making, so wave 3 of the overreaching wave 3. But this scenario we currently only have at a 39% probability, and that's why me personally, I would currently hold back my investments and wait for this final wave Y down leg to unfold before I'd be jumping into the market here in the Hang Seng Index. And so that's basically it with this first underlying episode of this upcoming series regarding Chinese car manufacturers. Hope it was helpful for you. Hope you're looking already forward to these upcoming videos where we'll not just look at the stock itself, but we will also look into the fundamentals, into the cars that they are making and where they are distributing those cars and what new super cheap sport cars you can maybe expect in your resident market. So up until then, hope you also checked out our Instagram and X page that we have down there linked in the description. There we already post daily content, news articles, interesting stuff just all around the financial markets. And if you have subscribed and turned on the bell notifications, I'm confident you will not miss any of the upcoming episodes around those Chinese car makers. Looking forward to seeing you there. Take care. Bye bye.